Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world that constantly measures us by grades, by titles, by promotions, by wealth. Success, for many, has been equated to a list of achievements, medals, and milestones. But let me ask you this: is success really about what we collect, or is it about what we become? True success is not merely reaching a destination. It is the journey, the growth, and the impact we leave behind. When we look at achievement alone, success becomes a competition. Someone always has more money, more recognition, more influence. But when we redefine success, we shift from comparison to contribution, from winning to living with purpose. Success is not the size of your bank account. It is the depth of your character. It is not the awards on your wall, but the values you stand tall for. It is not just about the dreams you accomplish, but the lives you uplift along the way. Think about the teacher who may never become a millionaire, but changes hundreds of lives with knowledge and kindness. Think about the nurse who works tirelessly, unseen, yet gives comfort when it matters most. Are they any less successful than CEO or celebrities? Absolutely not. Their success lies in meaning, not medals, to me. Success is balance between professional growth and personal peace, between ambition and gratitude, between striving and serving. It is the ability to wake up each morning with excitement, to go to bed each night with contentment, and to live each day with integrity. Achievement is a chapter in the story of success, but it is not the whole book. True success is when your life becomes an inspiration, not just an accomplishment. So let us redefine success. Let us measure it not by the trophies we hold, but by the kindness we show, not by how high we climb, but by how many hands we lift, not by what we achieve for ourselves, but by what we give to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, success is not about having more, it is about being more. And once we embrace this truth, we no longer chase success. It begins to live within us. Thank you. Success is more than a destination, it's a journey when we hear the word success. Most of us imagine a clear finish line, a degree, a dream job, a car, a house, or a title that proves to the world, I made it. Society teaches us that success is a single point in time, a moment when you finally arrive. But here is the truth. Success is not a destination you reach once and for all. It is the journey you take, the person you become, and the growth you experience along the way. Think about the metaphor of climbing a mountain. If success were only about reaching the summit, then the hours of climbing, the sweat, the exhaustion, and the moments of doubt would all be meaningless. But ask any climber and they'll tell you, the real value is in the climb itself. Every step makes you stronger, every setback tests your resilience, and every small milestone keeps you moving forward. When you finally reach the peak, the view is breathtaking not only because of where you stand, but because of everything you went through to get there. Without the journey, the summit would mean nothing. Life works the same way. Many people achieve their dream goal only to feel empty once they arrive. Why? Because they defined success as a single event, not as a continuous process. A student might believe success is graduating, but once the ceremony ends, what's next? A professional might think success is a promotion, but after the applause fades, what then? The truth is, if you only define success by the finish line, you will always need another one to feel fulfilled. That is why success must be redefined as growth. It is not about a single achievement, but about becoming more capable, more compassionate, and more courageous every day. Success is in the moments you choose discipline over comfort. Success is in the failures that teach you resilience. Success is in the mornings you rise even when you feel like giving up. Each of these is not a step toward success. They are success itself. Let's take an example. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, is celebrated for his achievement. But what truly made him successful was not the single moment of invention. It was the thousands of failed attempts that built his persistence, his creativity, and his vision. If Edison had only valued the final product, he would have been crushed by his failures. Instead, he saw each attempt as progress, as part of the journey. That mindset is what turned his achievement into lasting success. And consider your own life. Think back to a time when you worked hard for something, perhaps passing an exam, completing a project, or overcoming a personal challenge. When you finally reached your goal, wasn't the most powerful part not just the result, but the strength and confidence you gained through the struggle? That growth stays with you long after the applause ends. This is why success cannot be boxed into a single achievement. It is about who you are becoming as you pursue your goals. Are you learning? Are you growing? Are you becoming more resilient, more grateful, more capable? If the answer is yes, then you are already successful, whether or not the world has recognized it yet. So let us stop saying, I will be successful when I achieve this or that. Instead, let us say, I am successful because I am growing every single day. When we embrace success as a journey, we find joy not just at the finish line, but in every step along the way. Success is not a point you arrive at, it is the path you walk on. It is not about reaching the summit alone, but about becoming strong enough to climb, wise enough to endure, and humble enough to keep going. Remember, achievements are milestones, but the journey is the true measure of success. Success is contribution, not comparison. From the time we are children, we are taught to measure ourselves against others. Who has the highest marks? Who has the biggest house? Who earns the most? Society whispers, and sometimes shouts, that success is about being better than someone else. But comparison is a dangerous trap. No matter how high you climb, there will always be someone above you. If success is only about being ahead of others, then true fulfillment will always stay just out of reach. Think about it. You could be doing exceptionally well, but the moment you see someone with a bigger car, a better title, or more followers, suddenly your own success feels small. Comparison is a thief. It robs you of joy and blinds you to your own progress. And worse, it makes success a competition rather than a celebration of growth. But what if we shifted our perspective? What if we redefined success, not by how we compare to others, but by how much we contribute to the world around us? True success is not about standing above people, but about lifting them up. It is not about how much you take, but about how much you give. Let's take an example. Consider a teacher in a small village school. She may not earn a fortune, nor does she appear on magazine covers. But every day she shapes young minds, gives children hope, and opens doors to futures they may never have imagined. By the world's shallow definition of success, she may not seem great, but if success is contribution, she is among the most successful people alive. Or think about a nurse who works through the night, comforting patients in pain. She may never become a billionaire, but she brings healing, dignity, and compassion when it matters most. Is she less successful than a celebrity with millions of fans? I would argue she is far more successful because her contribution leaves a real and lasting impact. The irony of comparison-based success is that it is fleeting. Today you are on top, tomorrow someone else overtakes you. But contribution-based success is eternal. When you give your best to others, whether it is through your work, your kindness, or your talents, you create ripples that live on long after the applause fades. History shows us this truth clearly. Mother Teresa did not chase wealth or fame. Her success lay in her contribution, the lives she touched, the love she shared, the dignity she restored to the forgotten. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison. Yet his contribution to justice and equality made him one of the most respected leaders of our time. Their lives remind us that success is not measured by what you accumulate, but by what you contribute. Even in our personal lives, this truth holds. Think about the times you felt most fulfilled. Was it when you bought something new, or was it when you helped someone in need, encouraged a friend, or made a difference in someone's life? Achievements fade, but the joy of contribution lasts forever. Redefining success as contribution also frees us from jealousy. Instead of seeing others as rivals, we begin to see them as partners in making the world better. Your success does not diminish mine, and my success does not threaten yours. In fact, the more we contribute together, the greater our collective success becomes. So, let us stop asking, how do I compare? And start asking, how do I contribute? Success is not about being richer, louder, or more powerful than someone else. It is about using what you have, your time, your skills, your compassion, to create value beyond yourself. At the end of life, no one will remember how many cars you drove or how many followers you had. They will remember how you made them feel, how you touched their lives, and how your contribution made the world just a little brighter. That is real success. So I leave you with this. Don't chase success through comparison. Create it through contribution. When you focus on what you give rather than what you gain, you will discover a success that is limitless, fulfilling, and deeply meaningful. Success is character, not just accomplishment when people hear the word success. They often think of visible accomplishments: graduating with honors, earning a promotion, buying a luxury car, or building a profitable business. And yes, these are wonderful milestones, but they do not tell the full story. Achievements are external. They can be taken away, forgotten, or overshadowed by the next person's accomplishments. But character is internal. It is who you are when no one is watching, and it endures long after the applause has faded. Think about it this way: accomplishment can open doors, but only character keeps them open. You can climb the ladder of success through talent, ambition, or opportunity, but without integrity, humility, and honesty, you may fall just as quickly. Real success is not just about what you achieve. It is about the kind of person you become in the process. History gives us countless examples of this truth. There are leaders, athletes, and entrepreneurs who achieved extraordinary things but lost it all because they lacked character. Wealth vanished, titles were stripped away, reputations crumbled, and suddenly the accomplishments they were celebrated for became meaningless. Why? Because accomplishment without character is like a house without a foundation. It looks impressive, but it cannot stand the test of time. On the other hand, consider leaders like Mahatma Gandhi or Martin Luther King Jr. Their accomplishments were great, but what made them unforgettable was not just what they achieved. It was the strength of their character. They stood for justice, compassion, and truth, even in the face of opposition and hardship. Their character was their true success, and that legacy cannot be erased. Character also defines success on a personal level. Imagine a businessperson who earns millions but does so by exploiting others. By worldly standards, he may look successful, but if his actions cause harm, can we truly call that success? Contrast that with a smaller entrepreneur who runs an honest business, treats employees with respect, and adds value to the community. He may not appear as wealthy, but his integrity makes his success more meaningful and lasting. The reality is, accomplishments can impress people, but character inspires them. A trophy may sit on a shelf, but kindness, honesty, and integrity live on in the hearts of those you impact. And that is a success no one can take away. Even in everyday life, we see this truth. Think of the people you admire most. Chances are, it's not because of their possessions or titles. It's because of their values. Maybe it's a parent who worked hard with honesty, a teacher who showed compassion, or a friend who stood by you in difficult times. Their accomplishments may not make headlines, but their character makes them truly successful. Building character is not easy. It requires consistent choices. It means telling the truth even when it costs you. It means showing kindness even when no one notices. It means keeping promises, being accountable, and choosing the harder right over the easier wrong. These moments may seem small, but together they define your success far more than a certificate or a paycheck ever could. When we redefine success as character, we shift our focus from impressing others to improving ourselves. Instead of asking, "What can I achieve that others will admire?" we begin to ask, "What kind of person am I becoming?" That question leads to a deeper, more lasting form of success, one that gives peace of mind and earns respect in ways no award can. At the end of the day, your accomplishments may fill a resume, but your character will fill your legacy. People may forget the details of your achievements, but they will never forget how you lived, how you treated others, and what values you stood for. So remember this: success without character is hollow, but character without recognition is still true success. Build your life on values that endure, and you will achieve a form of success that no one can take away. Success is balance, not burnout in today's fast-paced world. The idea of success is often tied to constant hustle, working long hours, saying yes to every demand, and sacrificing sleep, health, and relationships in the name of achievement. We are told work harder, push more, don't stop until you make it. And while hard work is important, let's ask ourselves an honest question: what is the point of reaching the top if you lose yourself on the way up? True success is not measured by how much you grind, but by how much balance you maintain in your life. It is not about running until you collapse. It is about building a life that is sustainable, meaningful, and whole. Burnout has become the silent enemy of modern achievement. We see successful professionals who look powerful on the outside but are exhausted inside. We hear of wealthy entrepreneurs who built empires but sacrificed their families along the way. We know of students who earned top grades but lost their health due to stress and sleepless nights. Are these people truly successful? They may have accomplishments, yes, but success without peace, joy, and health is an empty victory. Balance, on the other hand, brings real success. Imagine a scale. On one side is your ambition, your goals, career, and dreams. On the other side are your well-being, relationships, and inner peace. If the scale tips too far in either direction, you lose stability. But when both sides are honored, life becomes steady and your success becomes sustainable. Let's look at an example. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, achieved extraordinary things. Yet, near the end of his life, he admitted that despite his wealth and accomplishments, he missed out on moments of connection and health that money could not buy back. His story reminds us that success is not just about achieving more, it's about living more. Now think about people who embody balance. A working parent who manages a career, but still makes time to be present with their children. A leader who strives for excellence, but also prioritizes rest, reflection, and personal growth. These individuals may not work nonstop, but their lives are richer, healthier, and far more fulfilling. That is true success. Balance does not mean a lack of ambition. It means smart ambition. It means setting boundaries so your goals don't consume your life. It means knowing when to work hard and when to rest, when to pursue dreams and when to appreciate the present. It means realizing that your worth is not defined only by what you produce, but by the life you live. One practical way to achieve balance is to redefine productivity. Instead of asking, "How much did I do today?" ask, "How much did I grow today? How much peace did I feel today? How much love did I share today?" These questions measure success in a deeper, more balanced way. Another key to balance is self-care. Many people treat self-care as selfish, but in reality, it is the fuel that powers sustainable success. Just as a car cannot run on an empty tank, a person cannot thrive while running on exhaustion. Rest, exercise, time with loved ones, and spiritual or personal reflection are not distractions from success. They are essential parts of it. When we choose balance over burnout, we redefine success from a race to a rhythm. We stop sprinting to a finish line that never ends and instead begin walking a steady path that allows us to enjoy the journey. After all, success is not just about reaching your goals. It's about having the health, peace, and joy to enjoy them once you do. So, let us stop glorifying burnout as a badge of honor. Let us celebrate balance as the true sign of wisdom, because in the end, success is not about how fast you run, but how well you live. Success is about being, not having. When most people think about success, their minds go to possessions, a bigger house, a luxury car, the latest gadgets, or a large bank balance. Society often teaches us that the more we have, the more successful we are. But here is the reality: having does not equal being. A person can own everything yet feel empty inside, while another with far less can feel deeply fulfilled. True success is not about what you have, it is about who you are. Material achievements are not wrong. They can bring comfort and convenience, but they cannot define the fullness of life. If success were only about having, then millionaires and celebrities would all be the happiest people on earth. But we know that is not the case. Many wealthy individuals still struggle with loneliness, stress, and lack of purpose. Why? Because the heart does not measure success in possessions, it measures it in meaning, character, and fulfillment. Let's imagine two people. The first owns several businesses, travels in private jets, and lives in mansions. But behind closed doors, he is unhappy, disconnected from his family, and constantly anxious about losing what he has. The second person lives a modest life, working honestly, caring for family, contributing to the community. He doesn't have everything money can buy, but he goes to bed with peace in his heart, who is truly successful. By society's shallow standards, maybe the first, but by life's deeper truth, the second. Real success begins when we shift our focus from what we accumulate to who we become. Being kind, being honest, being courageous, being compassionate, these are qualities that cannot be bought, and yet they are the true treasures of life. A person who is generous with little is far more successful than someone who hoards plenty. A person who inspires others with kindness and integrity is richer than one who collects possessions but leaves no legacy of love. This truth has echoed across history. Take the example of Mahatma Gandhi. He had very few possessions. He lived simply, often with only basic clothing and tools. Yet he remains one of the most respected figures in the world, not because of what he had, but because of who he was. A man of principle, courage, and unwavering commitment to peace. His life reminds us that success is not found in possessions, but in the power of being true to one's values. Even in our everyday lives, this lesson holds. Think about the people you most admire. Is it because of what they own? Or is it because of their qualities, their kindness, resilience, or wisdom? We are not inspired by possessions. We are inspired by people. And that proves that success lies in being, not having. Of course, being also means living with purpose. You may not have everything you desire, but if you live with integrity, nurture meaningful relationships, and wake up each day with a sense of purpose, you are already successful. You are living a life that counts, not just for yourself, but for others. The danger of defining success as having is that it never ends. There is always more to acquire, and the race never stops. But when success is defined as being, it becomes limitless. There is always more to learn, more kindness to show, more wisdom to embody, and that kind of growth brings fulfillment that possessions never can. So let us remember, success is not about filling your house with things. It is about filling your life with meaning. It is not about owning more. It is about being more. When you live with purpose, integrity, and compassion, you discover a success that no one can take away because it does not depend on what you have. It flows from who you are. Ladies and gentlemen, as we have explored together, success is not a narrow box defined only by medals, money, or milestones. It is far more profound. It is a journey of growth, not just a destination. It is about contribution, not comparison. It is built on character, not just accomplishments. It is sustained by balance, not burnout. And above all, it is about being the kind of person you become, not merely about having. When we chase success only as achievement, we run a race that never ends. But when we redefine success as a life of meaning, growth, and impact, we discover something deeper: fulfillment. We no longer measure ourselves against others, but against our own potential. We no longer seek trophies that collect dust, but values that leave a legacy. So I urge you today, Do not limit yourself to the world's definition of success. Write your own definition. Let success be the strength to rise after failure, the courage to live by your values, the joy of balance, and the love you bring into the lives of others. Because at the end of it all, people may forget what you achieved, but they will never forget who you were and how you made them feel. And that is the highest form of success. Thank you.